Good afternoon, guys. So, today is the class of articles part 2. We have already completed articles part 1, the previous session, and today we'll be dealing with articles part 2, right? And let me read the comments for starting. Arvind Kumar, good afternoon, Arvind. Good afternoon, right? Chahat, good afternoon, Chahat. All right. Yeah, so today precisely we'll be reading about articles, right? Already we have completed what are definite articles, indefinite articles, and what is the usage, where to use which article and all, right? So also I have given you a diagrammatic structure, right? If it is my singular noun or else if it is my countable noun, then I'll be using this next question. What will be my next question? Is it definite or indefinite? If it is definite, then I'll use the. If it is indefinite, I'll be using a or an. All right. Whereas in the other hand, if it is my plural or uncountable noun, then what will I do? Again, I'll ask the same question. Is it definite or indefinite? If it is definite, then I'll be using the. And if it is indefinite, then I'll be using no article. All right. Let us summarize the structure first for you. Right. If my noun is singular or countable and the definite or else definite. Right. If it is definite, then I'll be using the. If it is indefinite, then I'll be using a or, right? Second stance, if my noun is plural or countable. Again, this question, definite, definite. Definite, then I'll be the. If it is indefinite, right? And today in this class, we'll be precisely dealing about where to use this a or an. Where to use a, where to use an. Normally, we can easily say that, like, a will be before consonants and an will be used before vowels, right? If that is so simple, like, we won't be having this class today, okay? You are preparing for a competitive exam, so we have to keep in mind that it is complicated whether to choose a or an. What are these a or an? The is called as my definite article, all right? This a for my an is called as my definite article. All right. So keep this in your mind. Okay. With this being said, and this as your recap or the summary of the previous class, we'll be starting articles part 2. Clear? Sayanti, good afternoon. Shika, good afternoon. Simran, Jai Hind. Right. Thanks for joining the session. Today we'll be starting the articles class precisely. All right. So yeah, a or an. Where to use a or where to use an? So this is the primary question now. Okay. In the previous class, we have discussed where to use the, where to use a or an, or where to omit an article, right? And what are all the possibilities where I'll be using an article? Everything was clear in the first class. But in this class, we'll be dealing with only indefinite articles. Okay. What are my indefinite articles? Which is nothing but my a or an, right? So there will be a confusion among students where to use ace or where to use an, because we have a lot of irregular words and all, where we'll be using a before a consonant, a before a vowel and an before a consonant as well. Right? So we'll be looking at that one. So in order to understand this session, what do we need? We need a good command over what are vowels and consonants, right? So it is very simple that vowels are these 5 words. These 5 alphabets or letters. A, I, O, U. These 5 are called as my vowels in alphabet, all right? And the rest, all right, B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, O, not O, P, Q, R, all these are called as my consonants, okay? Except these 5 alphabets, okay, or except these 5 letters, all the other letters or alphabets are called as my consonant, okay? So have a clarity what consonants are and what vowels are, right? So with that being said, we will jump into the session quickly. All right. See, you probably know that A comes before a word that's starting with a consonant, right? For example, book, cat, water. The first letter, here it is B, here it is W, and here it is C. So what are these? These are all my consonants because they don't fall under the category of A, E, I, O, U. Okay, they're not my vowels. So of course, these are my consonants. So in your school or in your early childhood, what you have learned? You have learned that all these A, A will be preceding before a consonant, all right? A book, a water, a cat, okay? A water, we cannot use it, all right? So leave that water alone here. So a book, a cat, clear? So why? Why are we using A? And why I can't use A before water? Because I told you the structure only, A or an, okay? Be there for only singular or countable noun. If it is plural or uncountable, water is my uncountable noun, right? So if it is plural or uncountable, then I have only two options, either the or no article, all right? So whenever you see a plural or, I mean, an uncountable noun, make sure that be plural, okay? Whenever you see an uncountable noun, you are not going to add any article before it except the, okay? If it is specific, then you will be using the, okay? Water is uncountable and it is not specific here, so I won't be using here. Maybe if I wanted to use, then I'll be using the, but I won't be using a or an, all right? So yeah. But is it true? Is it true that before a consonant, I'll be using a, and before a vowel, I'll be using an? Is it true? This is the normal case? No, this is not a normal case, all right? For example, university. Here, I'll be using a university, not an university. Though this first letter is my vowel, okay, I'm using A here, all right? Whereas normally in school, what you have learned, A means consonant, and means vowel, okay? Not A means consonant. A will be used before a consonant, and will be used before a vowel. But here, I'm using a university, which is the correct form. I won't be using an university. An is incorrect here, right? So why am I doing this, okay? We'll be learning this today, all the exceptions, other things, okay? With that being said, we will start the class. Is it true? Of course not. A and an. Know the difference. Okay. So what is one thing common about A and an? A and an are my indefinite articles, right? Both A and an are my indefinite articles for singular nouns. Why am I specifying for singular nouns, right? Why? Because we have only two options, either singular or countable, or plural or uncountable. If it is plural or uncountable, there is no concept of using indefinite article, right? Which is a or an. So a and an will be used only for my singular or countable indefinite nouns, all right? So we won't be using a or an for plural or a uncountable noun, all right? See, when the next word begins with a consonant sound, you use a, okay? Here, what you have to focus on the sound the word is producing, not the letter. If it is just a consonant like honor, okay, here I'll be using an honor, okay? Why? Even though if it is H, I'll be using an. Why am I using an here? Because rather looking at this letter, I'll be looking at the sound which is it is producing. Honor, or a. This is the sound which is producing honor, right? Or a. You can use anything, okay? A or a. So what is this sound? This sound is a vowel sound. It is a vowel sound. I'm using an honor, all right? Not a honor. Clear? So this is how we'll be decoding today. Don't worry, we will get it started. You can tell when to use an instead of a if the next sound is vowel sound, okay? So one thing what you have to keep in your mind is that if it is a vowel sound, sound is important, then we'll be using an. And if it is a consonant sound again, then I'll be using a. All right. A will be used for consonant sound and an will be used for vowel sounds. All right. This sound is important, not the alphabet or letter. I repeat it again and again. Clear? Yeah. So where to use a, sir? Now give me some examples. Now you will be asking me to give some examples, and that is the right thing for me to do. Introducing it with some examples. Okay. So let us see what are we going to do now here. Examples using a in a sentence. The article a typically comes before a word that begins with a consonant sound. Clear? So I went to a restaurant. Here, restaurant. R is stressed. So the sound is R. The word restaurant How am I sounding it? How am I pronouncing it? What is the sound which is produced? Restaurant, r. R is pronounced, okay? R is stressed. So, R is my consonant. So, since it is a consonant sound, I'm using a before it. Not just because this is a consonant letter, I'm using a, okay? If you're going by alphabets or letter, you will be 100% wrong for your defense exams or any other exams, okay? If you're preparing for any exams, then please make sure that the sound, what it is producing. See, a man. Here, M is stretched, okay? M is stretched and stressed. A man. M sound is produced. A dog. T sound is produced, okay? Sharon decided to read a book. See, again, B sound is stressed, okay? What are these? Either my B sound or D sound, M or R, okay? See, R, M, D, B. All these are my consonants, right? Consonants, and also these sounds are my consonant sound. These are my consonant sounds. I'm using a, all right? Joel drives a purple, p. P is stretched, okay? So, a will be used. That's it. Very simple and then clean. All right? Is it clear? Where to use a? A will be used only before a consonant sound, not a consonant letter. Clear? Example using an in sentence. Where to use an, sir? See here. Umbrella. What is, see, I bought an umbrella. 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 The pronunciation of umbrella is umbrella. All right. Whereas university. Whereas if I'm saying at as a university, then what sound it is producing? University is producing U sound. See, U or YOU. University. See the pronunciation. University. Here, umbrella. Both are starting with this letter U only. Okay, here also we are choosing the letter U. Here also we are choosing the letter U. But we are not deciding my article according to the letter. Whereas we are focusing it based on the sound which it is producing. See here, university. Here it is producing my U sound. Either this one or this one. U. So U or this U are my consonant sound. So here I'll be using a university, not an university. Whereas umbrella, is the sound produced before this word, okay? Umbrella. So this is a vowel sound. Vowel sound. I'm using and before this one, all right? The news reported an alligator. Alligator. See what the sound producing? Alligator. So this a is my vowel sound. And also here previously, is my vowel sound. All right. Lily wanted an ice cream. See, ice cream is pronounced in this way. Ice. Right. And look at these one. Ice. Both have a similar word pronunciation. See, eyes and eyes. So either in this case or even in this case, like, I have only vowel sounds here. See, I. I wanted an ice cream. I. This is also my vowel sound. Okay. Always remember, we judge an article before a consonant sound or only before a vowel sound. Clear? And look at this one. An eager child ran into the store. Go. A R. Go. What is this word pronunciation? Is the pronunciation or E is the sound produced before using the word. So this E will be considered as my vowel sound, right? It is a vowel sound. Again, I'm using an. The boy picked up an orange. Orange. O or O. Orange. Whatever it is. But mostly we'll be using O. Orange. So this O is also again my vowel sound. So I'm using an before it. That's it. So an will be used only before a vowel sound. All right. And a will be used only before a consonant. That's it. Class, how's the Josh? I believe it is high. not high or whatever it is, please mention it in the comment. All right. So, what do you mean by acronyms? Okay, whether I should be using a or an before an acronym. But tell me, sir, what is acronym? Acronyms are nothing but a short word that is made from first letters of a group of words, right? For example, MBA. All right. See, MBA, GRE, NFL, SOS. All these words are what? Master of Business Administration. Masters of Business Administration. Or else I can say simply BA, all right, Chartered Accountant, CA. See, these are called as my acronyms. Acronyms are nothing but you just take the first word of a sentence, first letter of the word, and then summarize it together and shorten it. That's it. These are called as my acronyms. Okay? For example, see, Master of Business Administration. What am I doing? I'm just taking the first word and then I'm using it in a short form of word. So it is called as my acronym. That's it. Okay. So now when it is an acronym, whether I should use a or an, what should I use here? An MBA student. Here, why am I using this? M is pronounced separately, right? MBA. M. This M pronounced as M, right? For example, see, emblem, emblem. See, M, M. They sound similar. Emblem, M. Okay, M, M. Right? The pronunciation of this alphabet is M. So this is an MBA. Why? M is a vowel sound. M, vowel sound. So even though this is a consonant alphabet, it is producing vowel sound. So I'm using and before it. That's it. Okay. See, again, here in this case, a GRE. See, GRE. How it is pronounced? G is pronounced as. So this is a consonant sound. That's it. So that is why I'm using A before it, right? Look at this one. An NFL coach, NFL, N. How to pronounce N? N can be pronounced as N, right? How can I justify it? N. How is this sound coming? And see, N. Envelope, envelope, and this N. These two are producing same sounds, right? N and N. Envelope. All right. So what is the sound here? It is N. N. Okay. So this is my vowel sound. That is why for MBA also it is EM M. For NFL also N. N. All right. So I'm using vowel sounds. So that is why I'm using using an. All right. See, DOJ here, a DOJ employee. D. What is the sound it is producing? DEE. So this is basically a consonant sound. That's it. Right? And SOS. Again, see here. Why am I using an here? S. How is this S produced? What is the sound S is producing? S. Right? For example, especially. See, especially and this S. Both are sounding similar. S. All right. So what is this sound producing? S. So this is my vowel sound. How vowel sounds are? E here. All right. Vowel sound. So according to the sound the word is producing, we judge our articles. Okay. Here M, here G, here N, here D, here S. Since it is E, S, so vowel. Here just D, consonant. N, vowel. Consonant. M, vowel. That's it. This is how we are going to classify my article. Classify the words and then I will be arranging a suitable article for them. That's it. Any doubts so far? Simran Kaur, hi sir. Chahat Taneja, hi sir. All right. Thank you, Simran and Chahat. Stay focused here. All right. Okay. Sir, some acronyms are produced individually, right? See, MBA, MLA, P, Prime Minister, and Chief Minister, MLA, Member of Legislative Assembly, MBA, Masters of Business Administration. All these are acronyms, okay? Member of Legislative Assembly, MLA, CM, Chief Minister, C, Prime Minister, PM, okay? So these are called as my acronym, right? And how am I pronouncing these? MBA, MBA. I'm not telling MBA as a single word. I'm pronouncing each and every alphabet here. MLA. I'm pronouncing it as MLA. M, CM, PM, PM. Whereas if I choose a word like, AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, or else North Atlantic Treaty Organization, okay, NATO, am I pronouncing it as NATO, AIDS, or am I pronouncing it as NATO or AIDS? See, this is pronounced in a single go, NATO, AIDS, all right? Whereas, and also your common aptitude test or whatever it is, CAT, okay, maybe it is an exam or whatever it is. See here, CAT. In one go, I'm pronouncing CAT exams, okay? I'm not saying CAT exams. I'm not telling NATO. I'm not telling AIDS, okay? I'm pronouncing it in one go. Some acronyms are pronounced as a single word, all right? NATO, AIDS, all right? Here, NATO, why am I using a NATO? Because NATO, or that's it, just NA, NATO. Here, it is giving me this NATO. Here, I'm not pronouncing N, okay? Here, I'm pronouncing Na, okay? If it is a single word, then I'll be pronouncing N. Whereas here, it is one single word, so I'm pronouncing it as NATO, NATO, okay? For example, national, NATO. It is producing Na sound. So, it is a consonant sound. So, I'm using a before it, right? See? NATO. One single word I'm pronouncing na. So, consonant sound. Whereas AIDS, A or AI is the sound produced. AIDS, A. So, this will be my vowel sound. So, an AIDS, an AIDS tree. Here, that's it. Very simple. Your acronyms can be divided into two types, okay? One, we will be pronouncing every alphabet individually. Like I told you, MLA, okay? MLA, we won't say MLA. MLA, we can't say it in a single word as MLA, okay? We will say it as MLA. Chief Minister, PM, PM, all right? Like this we'll be pronouncing. Whereas there are some other words where we will be pronouncing it as in one go. NATO, AIDS, right? So these are all my acronyms only, but pronounced it as a single word. Whatever it is, what are we going to do? If it is pronounced singularly or if it is pronounced plurally or whatever it is not a problem. We are going to just focus on the sound it is producing. If it is giving me A, E, I, O, U, these kind of sounds, then I will be using an. If it is giving me any consonant sound, then I'll be simply using a before it. That's it. Very clear. You don't have to think or worry about anything here. Clear? So let us move to the next one. When to use and before a word beginning with H, okay? So now we are going to look at some consonant sounds, okay? Now we'll be looking at some, consonant starting letters, words which will be having a and before them. For example, honor. Why am I using an? Even though H is there, why am I using an? Because the sound it is pronouncing, we are not going to tell it as honor. We are not going to say it as honor. We are going to say it as honor. All right, honor. So, a is the sound produced, honor. So, a is a vowel sound. So, I'm using an. Air. See, air. We won't say hair. We will say it as air. So, this HEIR is sounding, the beginning of this word sound is air. I or H, T. Okay, this is again my vowel sound. Vowel sound. So I'm using an air. All right. Again here, hourglass. We won't pronounce it. The proper pronunciation of this word is hour, not hour. Many people pronounce it as hour. 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. Okay, it is not hour. It is hour. Okay. So 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. All right. So what pronunciation it is giving? R. Or I mean or AW or OW. You can pronounce any way you want it. But these are all my vowel sounds. R, or, or. All these are producing or giving me some vowel sounds. So since it is giving me all vowel sounds, I'm going to use an before it. An R. All right, not a R. Just because, like, looking at the first letter, it is H. It is a consonant. If I'm using a, then it will be incorrect. Okay, you always have to go for the sound. That is really important. Here, just before answering it, pronounce it and see what kind of sound it is producing. If it is producing any of these A, I, O, U sounds, then use an before it, and rest you use a before it. Is it clear, students? Simran Kaur already said it is clear. Clear. Okay. But sir, will all the H starting words will be using an? No. See here, horse. Here we'll be saying horse. Here we won't pronounce it as horse, right? For only R, air, honor. Okay. Here we are using, we are neglecting this H, and then we are pronouncing it just as it. All right. Whereas some words, okay, most of the H words here, we are pronouncing it as horse, ho, horse, hair, hey, Hay, hey, hair. All right. Home, ho. Okay. Maybe if you find it, like, little irrelevant, just again cut this E, go for it. Here, see here, ho, hey, ho. See, horse, home, ho, ho. All my consonant sounds only. Consonant sound, and consonant. Hair, see, hey, hair. All right, hair, horse, home. So these all words are pronounced, producing consonant sounds. So properly, H is also stressed here. The word H, the letter H is pronounced hard. So simply I'll be using a before it. All right. Only for such words, we won't pronounce H. We'll just simply say hourglass. All right. Or 1 hour, 2 hour. That's it. Here. So exceptions for this rule. Okay. While the general rule of thumb is that A precedes the word that begins with consonant, and an precedes the word begin with a vowel. This is not necessarily always the case. In fact, there are some words begin with a vowel that are preceded by A. What are they simply saying? They're saying that it is not always necessarily that all the vowel starting words will be taking an, and all the consonant starting words will be taking a before it. Okay, it is not always the case. Even we have seen it. Okay, so these are the exceptions they are talking. Like, let us go for another word. Okay, which is U. Okay, some words, for example, look at these words: European trip. Here, Europe. Am I pronouncing it as Europe or Europe? I'm pronouncing it as U or U. So, Europe. Okay, I'm not pronouncing it as E. Though this is a consonant, though this E is a vowel, okay, this is primarily a vowel, but what sound it is producing? But this word is producing me a consonant sound, right? So this word is producing me a consonant sound. See, U, consonant sound, Europe, all right? So I'll be using a Europe, all right? Here, union, again, U, Y-O-U is the sound, or Y-U, okay? So Y, so consonant sound. A union, okay? A URL, see, again, acronym, URL, U, pronounced as U. So this is a consonant sound. A unicorn, a eulogy. So all these are pronounced as YOU, not simply U. Okay. So that is why I'm using a before all of the words. Okay. That's it. Very simple. If you want to read it out, read it here. Some words that begin with vowels don't actually start with a vowel sounds, okay? Some words begin with vowels, don't actually start with a vowel sound. Cases, their beginning sound that is pronounced as U is actually a consonant which requires an article A. Some of these words are like we have seen these words. It is natural to see vowels when writing and automatically add an, but don't do it. Okay, naturally you'll see vowels. Okay, E, U, and E. So you'll be simply seeing a letter and you find it as a vowel and simply you will put an. If you're doing that, then it is incorrect. Okay, you always have to pronounce it. Okay, what is this U? Why? A consonant sound. All right. So since it is a consonant sound, Europe and everything, so I'm using a before it. Clear? That's it. Now let us look at some words which will be producing O sounds or O sounds or whatever it is. We will be dealing it here. Chill. Come here. Another instance of consonant sound words hiding as vowel, which are C. Just normally one. Okay. One. How can you pronounce this one? What is the difference between won and won? Both are sounding similar. Won means to win something. One means accountability, one number. Okay, one is numerical number or a value. One is winning something, victory, right? But the pronunciation are quite similar. See here, one, won. Okay, so what is the pronunciation of this word? One, were. Okay, one. How it is pronounced? One. So this wa is a consonant sound. So whenever I'm using ones or one, it is giving me a W sound. Okay. So once and one is giving me a W sound. So I'll be using a, if it is W sound, then I'll be using a before it, right? See, it was a one time. See, one. WON is the sound. Okay. This is the sound produced here. One. One. See? So this is a consonant sound. It is a consonant sound. I'm using a before it. See, once in a lifetime opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime. Even though this is an vowel, what sound it is producing? Again, once. WNC, once here. Okay. So I'm using a before it. All right. And we had a one-on-one meeting. See, a one-on-one. Why a? Because this one is pronounced as one. And this one is consonant sound. That's it. So this is what you have to keep in your mind. Clear? So that's it, guys. Okay, we have summarized everything. Okay, I mean, we have seen everything in the articles form and other things and all. Even in the last class, we have seen what are all the articles, are how many articles are there, and how many types of articles are there, and where to use an article, where to omit an article. And even in today's class, we have seen that, like, what are the difference between definite articles, right? What are the differences between indefinite articles like a or an? All right. So let us quickly summarize it. All right. Whatever the alphabet, it is alphabet or letter. Forget this alphabet and letter. Focus just on the sound, the word it is producing. If the sound is A, E, I, O, U, okay, then I'll be using an. If my word is giving me a E, I, O, U sound, then I'll be using an before it. Okay. If a word is giving me rest of these words, okay, like B, C, D, F, G, K, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, W, X, Y, Z, all consonant sounds, then I'll be using a before it. That's it. So this is the difference between a and an. So we have also seen some irregularities and all. Even though alphabet is starting with a vowel, it can have a before it. Even though a word is starting with a consonant, it can have an before it. That's it. Okay, so keep this in your mind and do well and perform well in your upcoming exam things and all. So we are done with articles. All right. In case if you have any doubt, please post it here in the comment section. And if you really enjoy the session and if you like it, please do like and then comment or just share it with your friends. Okay. And if you need this PPT, okay, and if you need PPT or in PDF format or whatever it is, make sure that there is a link attached in the description or in the comment section already. Okay, please click it and then join the group so you can get access to all these PDFs for free. All right. And this is Ganeeth Kumar from Shaurya Vivek Defense Academy. signing off here with articles class after ending it. All right. So please do like and then share it with your friends. And thank you so much, guys. And I can still wait in case if you have any doubt or anything, you can post it here. I'm still available. I'll clarify it for you regarding articles or even parts of speech. Clear? Or if you don't have any doubt, we can end it. So response student, is it clear? Is everything fine? Sainti, Shika, Arvind, Chahat, Simran. Simran Kaur, thank you, sir. All right, guys, thank you so much for being so much interacting, that, this, and all. All right, bye. Take care.